Hi, this is Phil, and I'm here to tell you all about the Capes and Lunatics Patreon. Get early access to all of our interviews, including the monthly Chichester chats with writer and comic book legend DG Chichester, new episodes of classic Capes and Lunatics shows, including The Quantum Zone, This, That, or the Third, and many, many more specials, all completely uncensored. Access starts for $3 a month, full video when you pledge $5 a month. Check out the link in our show notes or go to patreon.com/CapesandLunatics. Hope to see you there.
This is Jam DeMatteis, and you are listening to the Capes and Lunatics podcast.
In brightest day,
in blackest nights,
No evil shall escape my sight.
but those who worship evil's might.
beware my power.
Green Lantern's light. Hello and welcome back to Sector 2814, the Green Lantern podcast. I am Phil. Joining me as always, master of all the cores, and seems to have an extra spring in his step this episode. It is.
I'm Will. Hey, everyone.
That's right, kids. We're going to cover the non-New 52 story, Green Lantern Willworld. Woohoo!
Wait, did you say not New 52?
Not New 52.
Yes, I'm finding that break rather refreshing.
Again, this will be one of our scheduled, New 52 mental health break episodes.
Nice.
I almost feel like one of those ads, you see from law firms. Were you affected by the New 52 at any point in the
Call 1-800 in Eaton.
Oh my God! Oh, kids, 614-382-2737. Send me your fictional or non-fictional horror stories. The New 52 cost me my marriage.
Nice.
Yes.
Very nice. So what's going on, man?
Well, I'm trying to remember if we have any Lantern news.
Yeah, we haven't heard anything on the show for a while.
Yeah. Well, again, I'm sure we're gonna see. Probably see Guy Gardner in the Superman movie before we see that TV show, right? So.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, Superman movies June or July?
July. Yes. Superman and Fantastic Four both come out in July. So.
That trailer, man, that was
The big Galactic.
The thing.
Yeah.
That was super spot on. I mean, awesome.
I know. Just the whole, the family thing and. But
Herbie.
God.
Had freaking Herbie.
I know. God. Oh, I did see Captain America. I did see Captain America: Brave New World.
What'd you think of it? I haven't seen it yet.
I liked it. Like I said, it's not probably not top 5 for me, but it's definitely not bottom of the MCU list. Eternals, Thor: The Dark World.
Wow, I like Dark World, man. I did.
Yeah. Oh, you're the guy. Okay.
I'm the guy.
No, I mean it was good. I mean, I think that they did some edits. They cut it down. It's an hour and 58 minutes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Because they cut out a lot of stuff. Because really, I think they were supposed to have a couple Serpent Society members. Which again, I know you're a fan of Mark Grunwald's Captain America, like I am. But now you just basically get Giancarlo Esposito as Sidewinder. So.
Cool. Actually, there was yesterday. There was a giant thread on Blue Sky where what I can't remember the poster. I'll have to see if I can find it and forward it to you. Where he just kind of went through Grunwald's career, talking Quasar, talking Captain America, the Marvel handbooks. I mean, that's stuff near and dear to our heart, right?
Oh yeah, definitely. That's the other thing. I did like 2 interviews recently, one with Gregory Ray, the other one with Marcus McLaren, who both worked with Mark Grunwald. So
cool.
Check out some upcoming Capes Lunatics episodes. Yeah, got a nice again, anyone I talk to says what a great guy he was. And like God, when I was talking to Marcus McLaren, he was telling me like Grunwald would I don't know if he had I don't know if there are classes or like seminars, like he would take like people, he was the editor for and stuff, and like don't know if they were yearly summits or how often he did them, but like just like sitting in a classroom, like talking, like writing and stuff with people. I'm like,
That's
tell me
awesome.
there's video of that somewhere. I'm like, I would sit.
I wish.
Yeah, I don't think there was, but I was like, oh man. He
Yep.
was
I
a
mean,
great guy, great sense of humor. Knew his comic stuff, and again, it's the sign of like a great boss in general. He's like, instead, some people would just, sorry, tell you get this done.
mhm.
Sorry, kids, choking on my own spit. But yeah, he would say, he's saying, some people are just like, get this job done. He says, you work for Mark Grunwald, you learn stuff. He would teach you stuff about writing, and
Nice.
yeah,
Yeah, it was Comrade Bulsky. Just did this really great. Let's see. He was born in 1953. He died. He was like 43 years old, I think, when he
Who?
died.
Grunwald.
Grunwald.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I remember seeing that somewhere. I was like, damn, I'm older than Mark Grunwald was when he passed. Damn.
Oh, exactly. Yeah. But yeah, it's a. I'll send you this link. It is a. Let me see if I can copy link post. There we go. And I will slap it to you in the
Cool.
in the thread here. But yeah, is a really good. I read it yesterday and thought it was pretty awesome. So yeah. Let's see. Anything else with the lanterns? I haven't read the Green Lantern Core #1 yet
Oh yeah.
that you have, so hopefully
Yeah.
that'll be coming next week.
Yeah, we did cover that last time. Yeah.
Mhm. But yeah, I guess there's really. Oh, I did read Green Lantern. Have you been reading Green Lantern Dark?
Yeah, it seems like I don't know. I don't think it's been coming out monthly unless it's
It comes out every 2 months.
yeah,
bi-monthly.
yeah. 'Cause it always seemed like there's a big gap between issues, but yeah.
It's interesting, and I don't know. I'm kind of, I guess, really entertained by the fact that it's in continuity, but it's let's see, it's a what Earth is that from? Not
Is it
amalgam.
Tangent? Is it Tangent?
The tangent Earth. Yeah, the tangent Earth. That's so fascinating, because
Mhm.
I don't know. I find it really interesting. The art's dark and the story is intriguing, I think is a good word. I'm kind of wondering where they're going to go with it. So yeah, I'm really enjoying that one too. And I've got some of the new Absolute books. I still need to pick up some issues of Batman and Wonder Woman, but I think I've got the first two of Absolute Superman that I've not read yet, and I've heard they're pretty good. So I'm cautiously hopeful for the Absolute Green Lantern book that's going to be coming out pretty soon.
Yeah, but it's by Al Ewing. I mean, he's a great writer.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
yeah, hopefully, yeah, that should be good. I think he said something. Of course, there's probably some kind of horror aspect to it.
Mhm.
Because again, he's just writing characters like Venom and Hulk.
Yeah. Yeah, the Immortal Hulk was.
Although he's doing a good job on Immortal 4. I don't know if you've been reading Immortal 4, but I mean, some of those issues, it's almost like a throwback to like the Silver Age and stuff.
Oh, wow. Interesting.
Yeah.
Now, if we could just find out what he intended with Quasar, that would be cool.
Oh yeah. Charlie and I talked to him once. Yeah, I got to try to get Al Ewing back in here. Yeah. Enough of your new stuff. Yeah, what were you gonna do with Quasar?
Yeah, because it hasn't happened.
Either one. I know they changed such a radical status quo shift, and then it's like nothing.
Yeah. Indeed.
How are they switching? How they're switching?
Exactly. How's that working? What's going on?
We need Quasar in the MCU.
Yeah.
I think Sentry's going to show up in the Thunderbolts movie. I think he's actually going to. I think he's been confirmed. But I think from the trailers, it almost looks like he might go crazy, and they might have to fight Sentry. I'm like, We're gonna get Sentry before Quasar, really?
Man, with all due respect to the creators of Sentry, it just seemed like such a really bad idea. We're gonna retcon this character into the Silver Age and then wipe everybody's reality. It was just
Yeah.
so.
It's like they
So-
wanted to like retcon a Superman into the into the Marvel universe, but then people just started tacking stuff onto him, like, oh, he's
He's his own worst because the
Void or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I was like, hey, this is, what was Jay Lee was maybe on the art, and the writer, who was the writer? British writer. He's done a lot of really good work, and I'm like, yeah, this is going to be great. But it wasn't.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Well, again, once they started going down the Dark Avengers route, it was just like, okay.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, it just a character. I mean, when you get right down to it, a Superman character doesn't really kind of work in the Marvel universe. And I think we got a lot. I mean, I think Kurt Busiek explored that a lot in the Avengers JLA crossover. Why the Marvel universe and Marvel Earth is different than the DC universe and DC Earth. I mean, it's not just the characters. It's the tone, it's the environment, it's all that stuff. And
well,
I
that's
don't know.
yeah. Well, I mean, it works the other way too. It's like DC really can like get like a good take on the Hulk. So
Yeah. I mean, it's just they work where they work, and then for me, the Century. I mean, and hey, if it works for you, great. But for me, it did not work at all.
Oh, hey, Paul Jenkins.
Paul Jenkins, yeah, it was a great writer.
Mm-hmm.
I think this was a rare miss for him. Wow, that went off topic.
I know. Hey, enjoying Marvel talk here, kids. Yeah. All right. All right. So we get the
we've got this to talk about.
I don't have a synopsis, so yeah, Will, if you want to.
All right. Yeah, this is all about me. It's Willworld.
Yeah, I knew that joke. I knew that joke was coming. I knew it from the moment I woke up this morning. I knew that joke was coming.
I had to get to it before you did. Okay, I mean,
I know. Captain Dad jokes.
Right here, get them all.
Oh my God! I almost got. I had to stop my own murders today. Yeah, I was teaching Luca about yo mama jokes.
Oh,
so then he tried telling one. He's like, "Yeah, mom is so dumb." I'm like, "Don't you say that!" I'm like, "You're gonna get me murdered."
My favorite are the yo mama jokes from the Star Wars episode of what's the crap? They animate the dolls.
Robot Chicken, is that it?
Robot Chicken,
Yeah.
yes, the Star Wars episode of Robot Chicken. That's no moon. That's your mama. No.
No, I was just teaching them the classics, like your mama's so dumb she had to study for a urine test.
Nice.
Oh. All right. So
all right.
I was gonna say I can do the credit. I can got the cover. Well, they must have reprinted this somewhere because
yeah, I think
thought
it came out
like this on the app. This was how it was on the app. But yeah, they must have.
Yeah, they reprinted it in 2011 as an Elseworlds softcover, I believe. The hardcover came out in 2001, and is actually a nice looking little book here. You can see on the front, it's got that little.
Oh yeah.
It's got some heads, which is strange.
Which is a theme, kids.
Which is a theme, very much a theme, yes.
Yes.
But yeah, so go ahead and hit the credits, and then we can kind of talk basic plot for a minute, and then we can start diving into it if you want.
Yeah. Green Lantern Willworld cover date July 2001. Writer, of course, friend of the show, J.M. DeMatteis, who you heard at the beginning of this episode. Penciler and inker, Seth Fisher. Colorist, Chris Chuckry. Letterer, Tom Orzowski. And editor, Joey Cavalieri.
Cool.
Yes. So, yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, this one opens up basically, Hal on something that looks like a horse, but like, where am I? Who am I?
Where am I? His horse is named Trigger, which I thought was cool, but his horse is actually I don't know what that is. It's a camel, purple camel with horns ish thing. I don't know.
I mean, I guess it's like a stereotype or whatever. It's like the Lone Ranger's horse Trigger or whatever.
Yeah.
But I mean, it could be worse. I mean, it could be going through the desert on a horse with no name.
That's true. But yeah, they're going. He's talking to Trigger,
Yes.
and then Trigger gets hit by this guy who's pedaling a bicycle thing. And this first thing, broke both his legs. Well, only one thing to do: put him out of his misery. Boom. Oh, and then little Trigger hops out. You're feeling better now, aren't you? Like, whoa, that was weird. That was weird. But I mean, you look at some of these pages because you've got almost like full page splash with a small kind of panel in the bottom,
Mm-hmm.
which is kind of a weird shaped panel. Then the next page is 16 panels. I mean, that's nuts, and they pull it off so well.
Yeah.
I mean, the artist is Seth. It's a shame. I mean, he was only, I think, 36 when he fell off a balcony in Japan or something, and then passed away after that.
Yeah.
Now,
yeah.
Jumping to the end, there's a level 2 of this. I was just thinking there was going to be a sequel, right?
Yeah, maybe.
But yeah, this is. I mean, look at this double page spread. It's got Willworld Book 1, The Land of Odd.
Yes.
And I do have to, Tom Orzechowski is the letterer on this.
Mm-hmm.
He does some really cool, the cool effects with the Land of Odd there. The lettering is just awesome on this too,
And like even like what really pops to me is the colors on this.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, you can't stare at one of these pages by Fisher. I mean, every time you look at it, you're like, oh, I didn't notice that before. There's little monkeys over here.
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm gonna have to read this thing again because again, where like when they walk into that bar or whatever, I mean, there's so much going on in that.
Mm-hmm. In the bar scene, a Wonder Woman's there for some reason.
Yeah, I know. I saw
Someone
that.
dressed
Like,
as
wait a
Wonder
minute,
Woman.
that's supposed to be Wonder Woman? Yeah.
And you've got blimps and flying saucers and just all kinds of weird stuff, lizards and.
Yeah, and again, that's the thing. The other thing, it's like you see people in that bar scene. There's some that look human. There's some that look like lizards. I mean, everyone looks like a different kind of being in it. What if Hal says something? They're like, "What do you mean? We all look alike."
Yeah, exactly. I mean, this is kind of crazy. I mean, and as he's progressing through this, he doesn't know who he is, doesn't know where he is, doesn't know what he's supposed to do, and I think that's done very deftly on James DeMatteis' part to, ease us, not necessarily ease us in, because this thing moves pretty fast. I mean, we have a 100-page book here, and it doesn't feel like a 100-page book to me. I mean, because it moves really quickly. Now, I do have a question when we get to the end, though.
Okay.
About MUFON. The guy that hit him with the cart. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, this whole thing. I mean, basically, Hal going through all these lands, trying to just figure out who he is and what's going on here. But he meets these friends, Kelly and
Hmm.
Yeah.
I mean,
And
there's
then
just so much going on.
oh yeah, because
Visually.
he goes up there, yeah, like he gets a room basically above that bar, but then it's like he kind of gets
Yeah, you get
enveloped by that like almost or that's I don't know if it's I was gonna say sphere, but is it like some kind of like it almost looks like a squid with a big
yeah, it's like some kind of drug that they have in the bar there.
yeah
Because this one lady's saying, Mayavale, your primo, whatever. So I do like what's the when they're walking Hal to his room, he's in an elevator, but then they're walking on stairs at different angles. What's the classic picture where they're walking in different the
oh
stairs?
yeah.
I mean, it is there. There's a guy walking with like a hammerhead shark octopus thing, on one page.
Yeah, I mean, you could tell
And
Seth Fisher put a lot of time and effort into this thing.
oh yeah. Mhm. I mean, and then how this is a splash page. I mean, look at that. He wakes
Yeah,
up. There's just a giant head out his window. Huh. Okay, cool.
because that's the other thing. Again, you'll get like a splash page, but like you said, there was one page with like 16 panels on it. So
Yep.
just like with these realms or Hal's like wandering through, it's like there's no rhyme or reason. It's like it's
Well, and that's something I think that DeMatteis makes, you know, obvious. He actually comes right out and states it at the end.
no yeah.
Green Lantern Ring is not just about willpower, but it's about imagination too. And I mean, this is just look. This is imagination throwing up all over the pages, right?
Uh,
uh, I mean, it's just. I mean, it's beautiful. And you're right. The colors add so much to it too. I mean, but it does follow a fairly straightforward plot. As much. I mean, and you know, we get philosophy interjected in here too from DeMatteis, like the dreamer versus the dream, and what is reality, what is anything. I mean, there's a lot of really interesting things that make you start thinking about you know the nature of your existence. Yeah.
Oh, I mean, find me any JMD Mateus story where it's just like a simple, clean, oh, this
Uh-huh.
is a superhero story. Again, the message could be large or small, but there's always something to a JMD
Yep.
Mateus story.
Hmm. And those recurring cow villains, I don't know what that's supposed to mean, but it's funny.
uh, yeah, did they ever give? Yeah, I forget. Did they have names or anything? Or
No, I don't. I don't know. They were making that ballerina dance really fast in the first time, and they get
yeah,
changed, and then they meet in the restaurant here. So yeah, I don't know.
yeah. It seems like they're making people dance or trying to chase them off. So I guess we could call them the movers.
Nice.
Like,
Now I do like this page where we get to see Kilowog, Salak. I think that's Tomar Ray.
oh,
I'm
bubbled up and stuff.
yeah.
Yeah.
I really want to believe that that's Kat Matui.
Yeah, the hair looks a
Um,
little long, but yeah, that could be Kamatui.
mhm.
Yeah.
And I don't know the other three, but I thought that was cool. And
Mhm.
then suddenly there's a plane and he has goggles on, and of course he flies. And at every kind of little segment here, he's getting more of himself back, right?
Yes, yes. Yeah, but then when he tries to flap the lanterns, he kind of gets pushed back
Smacked
down.
down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm. But yeah, when he comes down, in the whole part where he's like, "That crash should have killed me, just like it killed," and he's like, "My father."
Yeah, exactly.
Mm. But then they're gonna they're gonna Him and his friends are going to break into the headquarters of the
Headquarters.
headquarters. They're all big floating
Yeah.
heads. Yes.
And you have a cricket who is a like old school 40s crooner, right?
I mean, it's not, but I mean that came dangerously close to looking like ambush bug.
Kind of, it kind of did, yes. Um, and then I do like the bodyguard, the extremely rude bodyguard, who's just an ape.
Oh yeah. Oh, and Hal's about to take another one of those glowing ball things, and
And the other guys, get away from that stuff, yeah.
stay away from that junk, you dummy, or
Yeah.
it'll wind up even weirder than you already are. It's so funny because we see Hal like in different clothes, or like in that water scene where he had no clothes, but he kind of keeps that mask on the whole time.
Always has the mask, yeah.
Mhm.
And then he eats the cheese, which is
Mhm.
classic, like animation thing. It's this wedge shape in his throat.
Yeah, you could tell. I think everyone had fun doing this.
Yeah. The holy head. He ate the holy head cheese. So he then becomes a head.
Mhm.
Nice.
But yeah, when they go to see, was that Keta Pilar? I think is this the first time we see his ring actually on his finger? This story, I
I think
think.
so. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so. And gives him some of his willpower.
Mm-hmm.
And then they climb in his mouth so that they can go, which is just
Oh,
nuts.
well, yeah. How becomes a floating head? Yeah.
Now, there was something that I kind of thought was a little bit weird.
Hmm. Oh, just one
Um,
thing.
one thing in particular, yes.
Okay.
Where Hal wants to stop them from erasing, it's the upside down panel because you have to turn it upside down to read it, right?
Oh yeah.
Where he's wearing a big eraser on his head and he's starting erasing people. And I know you want to stop this, Hal, but if you get involved now, they'll realize you're not one of them. You'll be erased with everyone else. So he doesn't get involved. And I thought that's not Hal, right?
Yeah.
I thought that was the only moment in here that's like, nope, that's not Hal, because to stop them then was the dumb thing. And that's what he does.
Yeah. But again, I mean, as we'll discover, this is like early Hal when he's still like a rookie kind of. So
That's true. Yeah,
he hasn't built up his full Green Lantern swagger yet.
maybe. I think you may be right.
And again, I
But
mean, look where he's at. I mean, this whole experience is such a trip.
is disorienting, yes.
Yeah. But yeah, the floating heads is basically like, oh yeah, if you people act out of turn and
Mm-hmm.
do either of what's expected of you, we'll just erase you. Yeah.
Yeah. I do like the when they start getting in his mouth. Hey, when was the last time you brushed your teeth?
Yes.
And then he meets a hand or a glove
Mhm.
that, it's like, hey, yeah, I like you. Hey, that mask. Nice touch. Très chic. I like to see more of you heads developing a fashion sense. Okay. It's crazy.
Oh yeah.
And then we get this splash page with all these other heads.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
I mean, yeah, exactly. I mean, it's just crazy. And then of course you get the comedic timing, like, hey, well, I just took a look at my, didn't Pellar say the head cheese would only last an hour? Yeah, that's right. But why? Well, I just took a look at my watch and guess what? It's been an hour. Then we get to see Hal making a little couch for him to catch them,
Yep.
which is kind of cool.
And they break in looking for the information they're looking for. They're just basically in a giant office. I mean, they're
Yeah.
file cabinet. It's big desktop computer. I
Oh,
love.
I do like
Hmm.
the Okay, gather round, children. The thing that they find is a floppy disk. It's not a 3D print of the save icon. It's what's called a floppy disk.
Hey, I know. All the answers to everything.
Yeah, exactly. That's what it's labeled.
But yeah, and it's there's a message in there from Marwan. Dear Hal, don't worry,
Yeah.
I'm safe. Please come to Nowhere Land.
Yours truly, yeah. And then they get hit. He gets hit with a foot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then one of those floating heads. Total erasure from intersecting realities in 5, 4, 3, 2.
Yeah, exactly.
Here's our Hal. He's like, I about had it with you guys.
Yep. But then, because he gave some of his will away, the ring sputters out.
Yeah.
And then he gets captured. Well, not captured. He gets skewered by the nose of whatever that is. The head of security, which has some great puns in it. He's just a head, of course. He says, "I, my ignorant friend, am the head of security, and I have been ahead of you since you first entered Odd."
You know what? I'm thinking this might be again. We might have to come back to this issue for some episode because just try to get JMD Mateus on here and be like, please explain this to us. Some of
Yeah.
this stuff does.
Let's talk about this because it's got some pretty wild stuff in it. I mean, that page, that full page splash, which has the eliminated lettered, in huge letters.
Yeah, and it like stabs him with its nose, kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty cool. And then we get, hey, I'm dead, but no, wait, I'm not. I think I can. I think I can. I think I can at the end of the page. And I thought the rings here were kind of cool,
Mhm. Oh yeah. Yeah, because they actually look like regular rings. Because it's almost like it's all green still, but it's almost like they have the gemstone on top of it or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he, of course, wakes up and he's getting ready to be reprogrammed.
Mm-hmm.
And then I didn't notice it on the first read through, but you see the little Eggmen that are going to attack him in a minute, but you see them on this double page splash.
Yeah.
Which I was like, okay, cool. um, and then he makes a paper airplane and they fly it.
Yeah, because he breaks out, but yeah, then he frees his friends. Yeah, and they well, no, he doesn't free his friends. He comes
No.
with the little angel. Yeah.
Yeah. At the moment, their conviction that they're dead is stronger than your conviction that you can save them. Best thing we can do is what Marwan said in the note: head for Nowhere Land.
Which they do, and the paper airplane kind of dissolves after a while.
Mm-hmm.
But luckily, there's Trigger again.
Yeah, Trigger's in his and then Trigger grows and boom, okay, this page.
Yeah, there's more than 16 panels on this page, kids.
16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26.
There's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 like decent sized panels, but yeah, then there's a bunch of little ones.
38 panels on a page, dude. That is insane.
Mm-hmm. And the majority of them are like the size of a postage stamp.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
But they work
Mm-hmm.
because all of that shows time passing, and she says, "Yeah, well, no, we've been traveling for weeks. We have." I mean, yeah, that is just an awesome page.
But then when they're going through the desert, Hal sees water, thinks, well, it might be a mirage, but if there's even a chance that it's water, then it gets pulled in. And his voice basically says, I warned you not to look beneath the mask of reality.
Yeah, you're right. He keeps, coming back to that, but you'll notice now he's wearing, looks like his bomber jacket, right?
Yep.
His dad's,
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And then we get this will consume you is his ring. he's growing out of his ring, which is a really kind of wild.
As he's saying the oath, yeah.
Yeah. And he jumps out of the water and he's back in his costume.
Yep.
Finally.
Yep, and he lands back in the desert. Because he's
then
like,
you get giant. Yeah, you get giant fish springing up out of the desert. I don't understand that. I mean, it looks cool, but I totally don't get what it means. But okay.
I don't know. But then there's like I don't know if it's all panel or two, but yeah, you kind of see how like in a book, and he's like, wait a minute, I know this book. I used to read it over and over when I was a little boy, but that can't be right.
And then we get we see the Guardians, kind of immaterial, but not immaterial, which is interesting.
Yeah, kind of. And look at they looked at. I mean, maybe just the artist interpretation, but it looked like they're hot off the cover of Sgt. Pepper's.
Yeah, exactly. And then he dives back in and he sees entire universes, which we get explained at the end, which is good, you know.
Yep. They seem so small, or is it just that I'm so big? But yeah, but basically couldn't telling himself, I'm real, I know I'm real.
Yep.
But then he sees himself in a bubble.
Yep.
What if he's the real me? What if neither of us is? What if we both are?
Exactly. Then he goes back home.
His childhood home, yeah.
Yep.
Then here's a voice calling him upstairs, and look, it's a version of Kelly in Willworld, yeah. Yeah, basically Kelly was his babysitter, and he's a child version of himself.
The armies of the whirlwind will absorb all light and life, all time and dreams. All of these, they look like Zoidberg from Futurama.
But then you see a lot of different characters, coming after them. I love when he gets knocked over. Can I say something? What? Ow.
Yeah. Yeah, that's, it feels like they're all marching in his head, and his head is misshapen with all that stuff coming out of the top of it.
He says the child version of himself. I know, no, you're the key. I know you better than I know myself.
Wait, you are me.
It's like, you know me. I'm Merwan, crown prince of the magical land of Odd. He's like, wait a minute, I remember. Yeah, I was like, what was his favorite book? And I'd spend hours pretending to be him.
And Kelly was my babysitter. I had a terrible crush on her.
What a shock.
Yeah, I know. That's shocking.
So yeah, then he's talking to his friends, like, how'd you escape? But yeah, then he's remembering all this stuff from when he was a kid with Kelly. Then the giant bugs show up.
Yeah, then the giant bugs show up.
But then his friends are like, they're going to destroy everything. What are you going to do, Hal? I mean, he's even like, how can one man stop all that? Then we get those 16 panels with like him in the ring and stuff again.
Yes, yep. Those. And when he finally remembers that he's Green Lantern. Boom. Yes. And this all began as a test on Oa.
Yes.
Now, I will say that there's two things that I don't really like. One, that they were using the central power battery as a test. Right? I feel like that would be done. I mean, thematically, I know it makes sense, but it was a big deal when someone went in the central power battery.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. And I mean, I guess maybe you need the power to form these worlds or whatever. Yeah.
But I guess the other thing is I really don't like the design of that central power battery. Really don't.
Yeah. I mean, this looks it looks different. Like I said, the Guardians outfits look way different. Yeah.
It has kind of a steampunk aesthetic to it, I think.
Yeah. But we basically see like this is a test. I guess all Green Lanterns go through.
hmm And hey, if you survive, you get to be a Green Lantern. If not, oh well.
I know that's that's what got me. I was like, okay, so the initiation test is okay. Try to build this own little, imagine your own little universe, and there's a bunch of them floating in the battery. But well, I guess if you fail, well, we need a new Green Lantern. I'm like, oh
Yeah.
wow.
Send the ring out.
I mean, I understand you want your Green Lanterns to have like very powerful imaginations, but I'm just like,
Okay, yeah.
I think that the penalty for failing is kind of steep.
It is. And then we get, there's not a lot of, you know, Ron Mars called Green Lantern, a special effects book, right?
Mm,
There's not a lot. I mean, the imagery is just weird, but there's not a lot of Hal doing Green Lantern-y stuff, right?
yeah.
Making constructs and things like that. But then it's not really supposed to be that kind of book, ultimately.
I
Oh,
think
and
I think if you want to boil it down to its simplest thing, it's like this is teaching Green Lanterns to think outside the box.
mhm. Yep, and I've passed the test. I command the dream, and Trigger gets wings, by the way.
Yes.
So, and he does wear a knight's outfit, for jousting, which I think is kind of cool. But ultimately he has to, it says, you created you created us from your heart. Yes, my most cherished dreams and memories from a little boy's faith in magic and a grown man's belief in heroes. I love this place, these people, and that love is the miracle of Willworld. Boom, he jumps into his raging unconscious, and it gets a psycha boom.
Yes.
And
He
he
pops
emerges,
out.
he emerges from the battery, to clapping and some woohoos. And I like this because Sinestro's there. This is before.
Oh yeah, this is very early in Hal's career here. Yeah.
But this characterization of Sinestro fits so well with how Jeff Johns was going to, characterize him, at post rebirth. At least I think it does.
Mm-hmm. Because he's even talking about.
Yeah, he says, "Of course he could do it. Has he not been trained by the great Sinestro?"
And he's like, yeah,
Kilowog.
let's prepare him for level 2.
Yeah, and Kilowog's like, whatever.
But yeah, when Hal asked, so what about the lanterns that never made it out? And that female one's like, don't even ask.
Yeah. Perhaps we should begin preparing Jordan for the second level. Only been a handful of GLs who even attempted it. Most of them never made it back. Hal says, I think I'll wait on that. And Kilowog, you and me both, brother.
Well, yeah, because it's like when the initiate must balance the combined realities of every lantern that has ever entered the battery.
Yeah. And then we get these big, this double page with 3 panels that stripe across both pages, And then we get to my question to you.
Yes.
What does that last page mean?
Well, didn't
He even made a mention.
Yeah.
He made a mention earlier that said, I created all these characters, but not Mufon.
Yeah, I don't know if he was a independent thing, but wasn't something said in this story somewhere about like where it's like, yeah, I dreamed of these characters. Is reality basically just we're all dreaming each other up or something? So
Yeah.
is it basically like, oh, well, maybe I created him, but a whole he create maybe he's creating me or watching me or yeah, it's
I do like the endings, and the fact of the matter is, there's really no such thing as the end.
yes. But yeah, especially for that ending, yeah, we gotta get Jam Mateus back in here.
Yeah, I mean, this was I think really. I mean, it has a lot of sight gags. You know,
Mm-hmm.
it's fun, and in places it's funny, but I mean, it's also talking, I think, about some really deep philosophical truths. You know, because James DeMatteis, I think, I mean, you and I have both read the Spectre Volume 4, and we love it because of everything that was brought in. But that's, I think, a hallmark of his work is bringing such diverse influences into comics, and then, you know, in philosophy and everything, just to make it work. So,
You know how you could have made this story even trippier? We kind of play the issue pretty much as we did, but instead of him coming out, to the other lanterns, he's like, "Oh wait, I'm not Green Lantern anymore. I'm the Spectre."
oh, yeah, oops.
I mean, how trippy could you have gotten if this was a Spectre story?
Yeah. Well, you know, and from what I understand, this came out while the Spectre Volume 4
Yeah.
was running. So, you know, he was writing Hal at the time as the Spectre, um, which is interesting because you know, we we got some really good stories with Hal between Emerald Twilight and, Rebirth.
Mm-hmm.
We got Darwin Cook's, what was that?
New Frontier.
New Frontier, yeah, Justice League New Frontier. We got books like this. I mean,
Oh yeah,
it's
you're getting flashback stories and stuff, and again, I just wonder were they always kind of testing the waters every so often to be like,
I don't know. I think it probably was a little hedging of bets. I mean, but when you get right down to it, Kyle was a runaway success,
yeah,
and I think we've talked about this. It's been many many moons ago, but until Emerald, I'm gonna say post Emerald Twilight. Okay, until post Emerald Twilight, where Kyle took over, Green Lantern really didn't feel like a modern book,
yeah,
right?
yeah. I
When Mars and Daryl Banks took over, it suddenly felt like a modern book, and I think even it still feels modern today. Whereas Volume 3 up to that point doesn't feel like a book that could be put out, you know, within the last 10 years or so.
Yeah, I mean the art that we got pre Emerald Twilight, it was very classic comic book at the
Hmm.
time. And again, He Who Will Not Be Named was like bringing in like Silver Age villains and stuff. So of course it feels like
Yeah.
a classic. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and we had, Pat Broderick, who's a classic,
Oh yeah.
silver, late silver, Bronze Age artist. We
Mhm,
had MD Bright, Mark Bright, who unfortunately passed away,
mhm.
not too long ago. He was a great artist, but it doesn't feel like, modern art,
Yes. Oh
or
yeah.
it's scratch.
Once Daryl Banks jumps in here, it looks very modern. Yes.
Oh yeah, exactly. So yeah, I don't know. This was trippy as hell in a good way.
Yes, it was very weird, but I mean, again, look at it. It's the opposite of New 52. It was fun. There was
Hmm.
like no body count. There was not a lot of body count.
No, well, and there, it's the imagination. It was all
Yeah.
reimagined. So yeah, I
Yes.
mean, it has a certain whimsy to it. How
That's
about that? Yep. Excellent suggestion.
by you.
Master Phil. Oh, did I suggest that? I thought you
I
did.
think you did.
Anyway.
No, I think you did. Yeah, no.
Well, I'm going to give you
I
credit
just
for
heard
it,
the
okay?
greatest suggestion ever. Who made it? I did. I thought you're patting yourself on the back. No, this was your suggestion. No, thank you, because I hadn't read this before.
Oh, I like the. Well, you must have suggested the mental health break from New 52. There you go.
Yes, yes,
So,
yes.
thank you for that suggestion because I think we both needed it.
Like I said, every so often, maybe like once every 3 months or so, maybe we'll do this. Yeah.
Yeah, we've got
You know what? We
long.
have to do Hard Traveling Heroes because Lilith even asked me, or she like, "Are you guys still doing that?" I said, "Yeah." I said, "We don't have it pinned down yet, but yeah," because I think she wants to join us for Hard Traveling Heroes whenever we do that.
And there it is, right there. I need to read it. I mean, okay, first off, I've read Hard Traveling Heroes, of course,
Yes.
but I've not read the Flash backups.
Oh
So,
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
it was O'Neill and Adams doing the first few of those backups, and then it was O'Neill and
Mhm.
I can't remember the artist. I'll have to look. I haven't read them yet, so I don't know who it is. But
You know
yeah,
what you need, and I bet you between you and your boys, you could probably whip something up. You need a little sign on this bookcase somewhere back there that says the Library of Oa or something.
yeah, yeah. I'll get to Mike to work on
Oh
that.
no. No, instead of the Book of Oa, the bookcase of Oa.
Bookcase of Oa. The bookcase of Oa. All right, I'll see what I can do. Yeah, this was a very, I think, much needed break from New 52. And,
Yes.
you know, perhaps it heartens us a little for the long road of New 52 that we still have to go.
Yes. But like I said, we'll do more like this every so often. So
You know, coming up soon, we've got the Godhead crossover, and okay, you know what? I have discovered
spoilers.
I have discovered a pattern, right?
Yes.
Anytime the new gods interact with Green Lantern, it's bad. And it goes all the way back to Cosmic Odyssey.
Yes. Yes.
So almost 40 years worth of whenever the new gods
Yeah.
mess with the Green Lantern, it's bad for Green Lantern.
I feel like New Gods and like the Eternals over at Marvel, it's kind of like they need to almost stay in their own little corner. That I think that's, again, I'm not a big fan of either, but I think they're better when they stick to their own little corners. Once you start adding stuff from the larger either DC or Marvel universe, it kind of
Well, I
it's
think
not good for them. It's not good for who they're interacting with.
I'll be honest. I'm sure that the new Fourth World book by Ram V is probably great, but those characters don't have any interest for me. I
haven't been
I
able to
don't
pull
get
the
them.
trigger. I haven't been able to pull a trigger on that either. I think Lilith. I think she read at least the first issue and she said it was good. So, but
Well, yeah, and I don't doubt it's good. It's just
yeah.
those characters,
Mm-hmm.
they just and that's totally on me. I get it. I just don't they don't resonate with me. I
Yeah.
know a lot of people who love them because Kirby, you know, they were there when Kirby was creating them, right? Or they've read the Kirby stuff and that really resonated with them. But don't get me wrong, and I don't mean any disrespect. A lot of what Kirby did, I understand why it's important, but it doesn't get me viscerally, right? So I mean,
Yeah.
I get why it's good, but it's not necessarily what I prefer. I guess. So I guess I just said that I prefer bad stuff. I don't know. Did I just say that?
It's yeah. I mean, again, I don't get it either. But is it maybe even just like Kirby came up with such a high up concept where it's like other writers really can't get it fully, maybe, or
That's possible. I mean, I really, but this is again, this is on me because by the time I was first exposed to Kirby, it was like when he was drawing, you know, the superpower stuff,
yeah.
and his style was so, to my young eyes, unappealing that
Mhm.
I'm just like, no, I don't want to read that. Let's go get
Yeah.
me some Avengers by John Buscema and Tom Palmer.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's certain like art styles you see in it. The minute you see it, it's almost visceral. Like you see Kirby, you're thinking 60s and 70s. Like
Hmm.
I know when we're doing we're on Electric Mullet, when we're doing the 90s Superman stuff, every so often they might have Kurt Swan do something, and I'm just like, yeah, Kurt Swan's
Yeah,
style is good, but when I look at it, all I think is Silver Age.
exactly. And looking at Mike Mignola, I'll be honest, when I first saw his work, I just totally did not get it.
Hmm.
Like, oh, what is that? But it was only after he was doing Hellboy. I'm like, oh,
Hmm.
okay, cool, that works. And then I was able to come to appreciate it better. But it's just we have the New Gods with the God's Head crossover. We had the New Gods in the Thorn volume that everybody seems
Oh
to
yeah.
like. So I still think that there are some good things in that volume.
Yeah, no, again, my big problem with it was like I come for Green Lantern rings, and a lot of that series, those rings are shut off,
Yeah, exactly.
and everyone's scattered. I'm like, I want to see people our lanterns
And
interact with
such needless. This was like a reversion to the New 52. Such needless body count,
it. Yeah, especially in the beginning. Yeah.
But anyway, that's a whole nother discussion for a whole nother time, right?
Yes. Well, kids, next time we're back to New 52.
Yay!
Yeah. Next time we're going to do Green Lantern 23.1 and 24 and Green Lantern Core 24. Yeah, 23.1. We're finally going to get the origin of Relic. Yay. And then in 2 weeks, we're going to cover Green Lantern, New Guardians 24, Red Lanterns 24, and Green Lantern. Oh, yeah. I still got to look that up. I have Green Lantern Annual too, but that's the one we did. So, yeah, I still got to look
Oh,
that up.
okay.
But yeah, so yeah, back to New 52 stuff, kids. And then after that, we're going to get 2 episodes on Threshold, which I think is going to be a slog for me at least. And then after that, the two episodes on the
Oh.
Larfleeze series.
Well, the Threshold is basically just an extension of that Green Lantern Annual #2, right?
Yes. Yeah.
And we've already discussed how much we loved that. So
Yeah. Yes. I mean, if we want to, I mean, do we want to take Threshold off the schedule?
we are
It's
nothing
too,
if not completists,
2
right?
episodes. Yeah. If anything's our downfall, yes, we are completists. So, all right.
Yeah.
So, yeah, kids, send us your thoughts on. Send us your thoughts on Willworld.
Mhm.
And no, that is not Will Allred's newsletter. So yeah, send us your thoughts on that, the upcoming stuff. What's your take on Eternals and New Gods? All right, email us CapesandLunatics@gmail.com or call the voicemail 614-382-2737. That's 614-38-CAPES. And remember, you can find every Capes and Lunatics episode of every show at capeslunatics.wordpress.com. Help support us by buying merch at TeePublic or Spring. And again, that crushing galactic force itself, Lilith Hellfire, demands that you rain random money on us through the Cash App link.
Make it rain.
And of course, the Patreon, where me and Lilith give you something exclusive and uncensored every month. And when you sign up to become a patron, you can suggest topic or request topics for us to discuss, as Justin has done many times. So tell us what to do. Go to patreon.com/CapesandLunatics.
More vicious and brutal than ever.
All right. Now for this Will Allred, master of the cores, master of the quantum zone, master of podcasting, and master of several successful Kickstarter campaigns. I think another one's coming up here soon, hopefully.
Hope so.
Oh, all right, Mr. Will Allred, where can they find you and these projects?
Well, you can find me at Walred at Gmail and Blue Sky and Facebook, and I probably some other places that I've forgotten about. But if you want to find the books that I write that we launch on Kickstarter, you can check out Crossover Division at crossoverdivision.com. Like Phil said, we've launched 6 successful campaigns, 5 single issues, and then a hardcover that collects the first 4 issues. And you can also, and again, you can check that out at crossoverdivision.com. Also wrote a book called Diary of Night. You can get a collected edition of Diary of Night at diaryofnight.com. And obviously you've got great taste because you're hanging out with Phil and I talking about Green Lantern, which means you probably love Marvel's Quasar nearly as much as we do. And if you'd like to find out more about Quasar, you can do that at the Quantum Zone, quantumzone.org.
I'll put it in my navel.
And again, you can listen to every episode of the Quantum Zone on our YouTube channel, Capes and Lunatics Podcast Network YouTube channel. It's a whole playlist, over 150 episodes, kids. So
Yeah, it wasn't like 156, man. It was a bunch, wasn't it?
Yeah. And again, most of them were live reads, and most of them featured the two of us and the comedic stylings of a Mr. Matt Kona.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, boys, you look at the party. I love the party. I hope it's going somewhere nice. They aren't even attempting to enter our orifices.
Yes, Star Blast.
Yeah.
I, of course, love Hal Jordan.
I do.
All right, kids. Thanks for joining us again. Back to the old New 52 grind next week.
That's right. Oh, speaking of, you need that new 52 drop.
Let me see. You go, New 52. You go, crap, New 52. New 52, it won't end.
It just keeps going.
All right, kids, come back next time, and this one will work on several levels. Remember, where there's a will, there's a Hal Jordan mess. Good night.